Okay, Trevor, so we have our first story of 2020. Our recipient's name is Pat, and she did a great job of kind of giving us a background of what she's been going through. So I'll let you listen to it, and then I'll kind of fill in a few more blanks that we didn't really get into on this particular audio.
Okay.
I'm sitting here with you today, Pat, and I understand that you've been going through quite a time medically speaking.
Yes, I have.
So you were telling me on the phone that you were first diagnosed with breast cancer.
Yes.
And how long ago was that?
That was back in 2012. And then shortly after that, well, about 2 years after that, they had me on medication, which seemed to control it.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2014, it came back again.
Mm-hmm.
And so they removed more. Then I ended up getting 2 more spots that they had to remove. And then about half a year later, we found out it went into my spine.
Oh my goodness.
And then in 2017, we found out that it had started in my liver.
And the oral chemo treatments that you were doing, are you still doing those?
No, they would last for a little while,
Mm-hmm.
and then they would quit, or they would make me so sick, or so, as my husband says, right out of it, I was like a zombie walking around. I couldn't function at all.
Oh, wow.
And so they took me off of that.
Yeah.
And they started chemo early November. I had 1 good bout of chemo, and then the second bout knocked everything out of me, and I ended up in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
It just dropped my white counts, my everything just dropped completely. And I was in the hospital a week and a day, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And they promised me they would get me out because we had plans to going to Christmas. And my daughter's in Nanaimo because we hadn't been out there for years.
And then you were telling me that you've recently had an appointment with your doctor.
We saw Dr. Webster on Thursday, and that's when he said he wasn't doing any more chemo because he didn't want me to end up back in the hospital again.
Right.
And that there was nothing else, so they were just letting it take its course now, which he figured 3 to 6, roughly 6 months, but he said I think he was closer to 3.
Wow. What's that like for you?
Hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
I bet it is.
I had an idea down the road eventually, but it's just come so quick. There's so many things we want to do. I've got a great-great-grandchild coming in February,
Yeah.
and looking forward to seeing him. And
That's exciting.
yeah,
Good for you.
so, yeah,
Good for you. You're focusing on
yeah.
positive.
going to keep- That's what everybody said. They said to look at you, don't look at you get cancer, and you always keep fighting.
I think that's one of the interesting things with cancer is that you can't see that someone has it,
No,
and you can't see how hard the fight is.
yeah,
And there's a lot of people around us, and I think it's so important to be kind because you just never know what someone's going through.
yeah.
Well, we have a package for you. You were nominated for the Airdrie Angel program,
Okay.
and we have a package for you, and we just hope to lift your spirits. It's tough news to take, and it's a lot for you and your family, but we hope to bring some joy.
Oh, thank you.
The first item we have for you is from Summerhill Florist, and it's a gift certificate for a floral arrangement for you.
Flowers always brighten a day.
They do. Next, the Pink Wand Cleaning Services has donated a 1-hour 3-person house clean for you. I'm sure that's the last thing you want to be doing, and your husband is extremely happy about that. The Airdrie Rotary Club has donated a gift card for fuel for you, which I imagine is helpful as you go back and forth.
Yeah,
the
just a
hospital.
Tom Baker, it gets expensive.
I bet. So we have a couple people that have come together for this next gift card. We have David Bowman's Painting, Orange Fitness, Montana's Restaurant in Airdrie, and our Daddy-Daughter Hair Day. We've pooled funds and have a $200 gift card for groceries for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. McCarthy and Sons Services has donated a $500 gift card for you for anything that you might need. And finally, 100 Men Who Give a Damn have $500 cash for whatever you may need.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That is just wonderful. Never expected anything like that.
Well, when you're fighting cancer and you're going through this, it's been a lot, especially having lost so many family members as well.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And we want to bring joy to you. So I mentioned there at the end that she lost a number of family members. So as we were chatting, she was telling me that like a number of people in her family have been affected by cancer, including young, old, every age. And she said that they carry the BRCA gene, which of course is associated with cancer. And she said, and I've passed that gene on to all 3 of her kids too. So it's just, your heart goes out to these families where like that's just, it's literally within their genes, and they're facing this almost constantly, it seems. Like the story she was telling me about the timelines of other family members. I mean,
yeah, it's awful. It's hard to hear, and you know, like even just, you know, I don't have a lot of experience with family members with cancer, but the family members I do have experience with, I do know like what rang home was like the chemotherapy and just how awful going through chemotherapy is for them. Just, you know, and you've seen it just knock the strongest individual right down. And you know, being 2020, I still can't believe like that's the solution. You know. Yeah, that's the only option we have is that chemotherapy, and it's really, really tough, and it's hard. Yeah. And it's not a guarantee to work either. Like, that one hit home. Yeah.
And it was interesting because right around Christmas time, we got that gift card for $500 from McCarthy and Son Services. And so we decided to pass it along to Pat here, because that's the thing. There's so much expenses, just getting treatment, going in to see her doctor, all that kind of stuff, gas. And they, you know, that's a lot of funds to go into it. So sometimes it's just lifting that burden a little bit too. But we also, she knows there's a time limit on her life. And I hope that she can make the most of the days she has. And it sounds like she absolutely is.
Just her attitude and how positive, like it's incredible that people are like that. Like,
I know she's going to meet that great grandbaby. I know she will absolutely do that. Like she's just like so focused and so positive about it. So I'm excited for her attitude. Yeah. And I just wish her and her family well.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.